Joining us now is the Home Secretary, Amber Rudd. Good morning to you, Home Secretary.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. This incredibly detailed account in a very highbrow, respected German newspaper is all complete and utter gossip, and not a word of it is true.
Well, I wasn't at the dinner, and the person who was at the dinner, Theresa May, has told us, yes, that it's gossip. But I think the wider
Does
point...
gossip mean it's not true?
Well, what's your experience of gossip, Piers?
You tell me what your categorisation of gossip
because
is.
Well,
she didn't
deny it.
It can be and it can't be, but I think there's a wider point here, which is that we're not going to comment on leaks like this. They may or may not be true, elements of it, but the fact is there's going to be, nearly 2 years of this type of negotiation going on, and I think it would be a mistake for the government to leap on and back on any sort of tittle-tattle that comes out.
Here's the problem, gossip or not, and I'm afraid I take the view this looked very deliberately leaked, very slanted to the EU clearly, but a clear marker in the sand from Juncker and the others. They're going to take no nonsense from us. They think they're in charge. They think that we don't have nearly enough time to do any of this. So ultimately, you're left, having read the entire piece, with the clear belief from Juncker and everyone in the EU that basically we are heading off a cliff.
Well, nobody said this would be easy. David Davis and Theresa May have been absolutely clear that we need to approach this positively, but with the clarity that it's going to be a complicated deal to pull off, but that we can do that. The fact that the EU is now coming out with the first salvo saying, oh, we're not sure, it's going to be frightfully difficult, shouldn't put us off at all. It's not surprising.
It's a sign, though, isn't it, that these negotiations, not only are they going to be extremely tough, but also they're going to be very public.
Well, we hope they won't be as public as we've seen over the past few days, because I don't think that's in their interests or in our interests.
Juncker says in this piece, which may or may not be gossip, he makes it very clear he wants every step of the negotiations to be made public. I mean, that's what he's told the Prime Minister.
Well, we don't know quite what he's told the Prime Minister, but we do know that there are elements of this will have to be public and there are elements that would have to be private. And what our position is that we can be relied on to keep gossip out of the press so that we can get a fair deal for the UK and make sure that we have negotiations that are confidential with the European Union.
What about the issue over EU citizens? The Prime Minister wants to get that sorted by the end of next month.
Yes.
He's suggested that is cloud cuckoo land.
Well, I'd ask him to rethink that, if that is indeed his view, because I think it's incredibly important to be able to give the EU citizens that are here and the UK citizens living in other parts of Europe the security that they want. And I know the Prime Minister has made this a priority. The sooner we can do that, the better. It's in their interest and our interest.
Can you agree individual parts of the overall settlement as you go along, as clearly the Prime Minister would like to do, or as many people fear, can nothing really be agreed until the whole thing is agreed?
Well, that is the mantra from the EU, is nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. But I think on EU citizens, they have accepted that we should be able to do that as early as possible. But we are just more ambitious than they are to be able to give EU citizens...
Why would we give away... Sorry, but on this, but why would we give away our trump card, which that is in many ways? Why would we say, hey, all EU citizens can come into our country as before, no problem, when that may well be a massive bargaining chip on the overall deal? Why not wait till the end?
Well, that's not what we're saying. Sorry, just to correct you. It's about the 3 million who are here already,
yeah, I know,
and the 1 million who are UK citizens living abroad.
I'm talking about you saying to the EU, as the British government, OK, everyone who's here is an EU citizen, who's not a UK national, they can all stay, right?
Yes.
Why would you give away such a key bargaining chip early in the negotiations?
Because it's not about the 3 million, it's about the 4 million. It's about the UK citizens also living in the rest of the European Union.
I get that.
But also because...
But isn't it better to hold... Since they will be... Look, I'm being perhaps pedantic about this, but wouldn't it be the case that the EU would see that as a major thing that they would like for their citizens to be able to continue living and working in the UK? And my point again is, given that we are clearly going to be up against it here with people who are going to be very difficult to negotiate with, I don't know, if you're playing poker, you don't give away that hot hand early on, do you, as you appear to want to do?
No, but we don't view them, the people who are living here, who are working here, a lot of them, as bargaining chips. They're part of the 4 million people from the UK and from the European Union, other countries, who need an early resolution to their status. And most of these people are really important parts of our community. Some of them have lived here for 5, 10, 15 years longer and want that certainty, which we are looking forward to giving them.